Summer is back. Give me that.
People, what's the deal? It's another training recap, so I'm going to be talking you through some of the training sessions from last week. So this is the realization phase. So this is basically bringing the most intensity to the exercise I've been doing in the 10 rep range. So just starting off with deadlift day with some hang cleans there, then moving on to a sumo deadlift, 135 kilos for basically nearly close enough to fail. Basically, my next training phase's percentages are determined by how many reps I can get in this lift. So I actually left maybe 2 or 3 reps in the tank because I know if I push to the absolute 100%, I'm gonna hit a wall strength wise if I keep pushing my percentages up. So I only went for 15 here with 135, so I believe that pushes my working maxes for the next training cycle up about 5 kilos maybe, so it's probably up to 190 now, which is still conservative. Just showing you what grip I'd be using for this exercise. So I'm using a hook grip here on a snatch grip deadlift of 4-inch blocks. What I like to do with this exercise, not overly heavy, and I always usually do them beltless if my back is alright. Tighten up my core, take all the slack out of the bar, and just from that position there, pull, utilizing all mid back and posterior chain. Great exercise for assistance when it comes to deadlifts. Last rep. Then some good old-fashioned bodybuilding stuff, so just some hamstring curls on this machine here, 4 sets of 12. It's something that I like to do. You can't really just do insane, how would you say, functional and strength building exercises all the time. So I like to add something like this in every once in a while, and I have been doing for the past couple of weeks. And then I'll use a different kind of isolation exercise for the hamstrings during the next training phase. Then I finish up on a metcon of kettlebell swings and PROWLER. So I think it's a 24 kilo kettlebell, 10 swings straight into just a PROWLER sprint, not 100%, but I went 5 rounds continuous here. So 10 swings up and back on the PROWLER 5 times without stopping. This is the last set here. You can see I'm absolutely exhausted, not even bending at the knees anymore. Just getting through it really. I'll probably add another round or 2 to that in the next training phase, but I stuck to 5 anyway for that one and got better and better as I went through. As you can see, absolutely exhausted. On to bench day. Same idea as the deadlift, so this is 95 kilos for more or less close to failure. I'm also noticing here, I really get to nitpick at my technique when I have a look at these videos. Notice here, it felt quite good, right? But you notice my head is sticking up off the bench and it's pushing my chest down. If I have my neck on the bench and I actually have my chest meet the bar, I would have a much smaller bar path and my benching would feel a lot better. So I think that's one of the main reasons I'm not feeling that great with the bench at the moment. Like there's no arch there. I'm actually flattened out on the bench as a result of me bringing my head up off the bench, which is not great. But that's just note for the next benching session. So push for 12 here. It should be really a competition bench with a pause on the chest, but I really just pushed it. After that, assistance work was floor press with chains, as you may have seen before. Lightened it up this week, so did 4 sets at the same weight, 85 kilos plus 10 kilo chains. As I said before, great for bench lockout and great for your triceps. Bam! Then moved on to dips, as you would have seen last week as well, 5 sets of 8. I really think I need to start using a lacrosse ball to get into my chest and really start ironing out some of the pain I've got there, because the dips were destroying me after the last couple of sets with pain, shoulder pain and all the rest. After that, moved on to pull-ups, 4 sets of 8 to 12. In the next training phase, I will always have a vertical pull like this, but it'll be a different variation. So next time it might be chin-ups, or it might be a different form of grip, but always great movement. Then on to dumbbell rows. Notice I always hated this movement, but I really started to like it again. You notice as I get to the top of the movement, I'm really pulling with my elbows and contracting the lat, as opposed to swinging the weight. So you see I'm slightly arched at the top there. This is a fantastic exercise, to use it properly. A lot of guys go too heavy and they just swing the weight up, and they're initiating it with their biceps, finishing with their biceps. You need to finish it with your lat. And then finished off on cable extensions. So maybe seen last week, 3 drop sets, just go and fail, building some muscle in the arms, no harm done. As I get later on in the training cycle, guys, stuff like this becomes less relevant. So I like to include a lot of bodybuilding stuff at the early part of a training cycle as assistance work. So to build a bit of size, I'll add in stuff like this. If I'm close to competition day or retesting water at maxes, building your arms isn't that necessary at that point, Onto the squat day anyway. This is static box jumps, which is quite high. Felt quite tight going into this training day, so I thought I was lucky enough to get up on a box that high. Then onto back squats. This set was a nightmare. So it was 135 for 12 reps. I sort of held off. Probably could have done 1 or 2 more. Again, this is something I should really be blasting through. And as I said before, it's not feeling great. What I've noticed here, looking at the video, look at my right knee, look at my left knee. Look how externally rotated my left knee is compared to my right knee. That means my right hip is seriously tight, which I sort of knew going in. I didn't feel great. I couldn't pinpoint exactly why I felt like shit squatting, and this is exactly the reason why. And a perfect example of not rushing your warm-up like I did on this day. So I should have taken more time to stretch my hips and my glutes. And you also notice the bar is off center on my back. So learn more and more every video I watch, but that's why these squats didn't go as well as I thought. Obviously they do look a small bit high to me there, but really if you were seeing them from the side, I'm definitely hitting parallel at least. You can actually see the bar going off center nearly on every rep, and that fucking right knee, Jesus, that pisses me off. Anyway, after that, moved on to front squats, 3 sets of 5, 22 or 122.5 kgs. You'll see it again with the fucking knee, man. That's really annoying. Terrible ankle mobility and hip mobility, and not really working on it as much as I should, as much as I used to anyway, and this is the result of that. But still, displaying a good bit of strength here. 3 sets of 5 with a decent amount of weight. Next training phase, I'll probably add in box squats or pause squats instead of front squats, so it's more relevant to the back squat itself, which is what I'd be doing in competition. After that, it's on to Bulgarian split squats with the straight bar. Don't go too heavy on these. Always control the weight. It's either slow on the way down and explode up, or just time under tension, which I'm going for here. Now you notice I usually have it far away, my front foot quite forward, so that will isolate the glutes, whereas if I have it closer to the bench, it'll isolate the quads. Anyway, onto the OHP day. I've got overhead pressing here, 60 kilos for 12 reps. Again, probably could have gone for 1 or 2 more, but I'm being conservative, as the more reps I do, the higher the weight's going to be in the coming weeks. So I'm just I'm holding back. I'm doing just enough what I need to. So yeah, it's a longevity thing. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Is basically what I'm going for with this training program at the moment. So not killing myself and putting to absolute failure. So OHP for 12 reps. Then dumbbell shoulder press, 3 sets of 8. Another good assistance exercise. I'll always have a shoulder day here, which I didn't always used to have. I used to do very little overhead press work, so it's a new thing for me, and I think it'll really help my bench strength. So after the OHP, dumbbell shoulder press, and then after that it was dumbbell incline press. As I said in the last video, by this stage of the exercise selection, I'm actually fairly toasted, so I didn't even change the weight from the shoulder press. I think it's just 35 kilos, and I'm literally just going to failure really, because I have no choice, because my chest, triceps are extremely fried at this point. After that, some horizontal pulling work, so you can see looking fairly jacked. Barbell rows, 5 sets of 12. I'm noticing here I have a resting on the pins, as I said before. Much better, I always find I swing the weight and I don't feel it in my lats when I do barbell rows from the floor, so I set them on pins, really contract, pull with the elbows. After that, a kind gentleman called Craig filmed this for me, so cable face pulls, 5 sets of 12 to 15. Again, that's really helping external rotation in the shoulders, increasing shoulder health, and putting a bit of size on the rear delts, which is probably badly needed. Then finished up on some hammer curls with 25 kilo dumbbells, 3 sets to fail. Guys, that's another video recap of the training I did last week. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.